Hello again, global people. Another culture moment with Christian the Culture Guy. Today let's talk about behavioral frameworks, cultural frameworks. There's a lot of them out there. Actually, if you worked with us, you know we offer two of them. They're on our website. Check it out on theculturemastery.com and the shop. We offer the Globe Smart Profile and Country Navigator, both really good cultural frameworks and assessments that help you identify the gap in different cultural behaviors. However, I want you to know this. No matter what framework you're looking at, whether it's Hofstede Trompenas or the systems that we work with successfully, none of the numerical values or the pinpoints of certain behavioral dimensions are 100% accurate. In fact, in any culture, with every human being, there is what is referred to as a zone of appropriateness. It's like, let me grab that rubber band real quick. I usually wear some of those beads around my wrist in training. That helps quite a bit. So there is a zone of appropriate behavior. So you can stretch that a little bit, right? And the gentleman that I'm quoting here is Professor Andy Molinsky, who wrote the book Global Dexterity, a good friend of mine, teaches at Brandeis University up in Boston. I highly recommend this book, Global Dexterity, in which he outlines basically that concept of zone of appropriateness. All of us have a zone of behaviors in which we feel comfortable and which is appropriate to us. And usually in our home culture, that zone of appropriateness overlaps with most people who are members of that group. If you're outside of your group, if you're in a different culture, the zone of appropriate behavior will have moved a little bit. Now, in an ideal world, those zones, those areas still overlap, and you will find common ground here in the middle. You will find an appropriate behavior that's appropriate for you and that of the other culture. Now, more often than not, those two zones do not initially overlap. So what do? We train our zone. It's like going to the gym. It's working out your cultural muscle. I think I talked about this on a different culture moment before. You train your behavioral flexibility. You expand that zone of appropriateness. It's not a magic trick. It's nothing that you can switch on and off. It is something that you have to build over time. You got to become more comfortable with a behavior that initially was unfamiliar or inappropriate to you or uncomfortable to you. So learning to do that, learning to expand that zone of appropriateness may not feel comfortable at first. However, with more and more practice, it will be comfortable. It will become second nature, and the zones of appropriateness will more easier overlap than they did before.